I've been to Nancy's home a number of times when we used to hold the book club there, and she was always most gracious. Her kitchen is beautiful, and she's going to be sharing with us today all about holiday hors d'oeuvres. Nancy, of course, was past president of the UCSD Retirement Association. She served as president, actually, from 2011 to 2012. She serves presently as the RA ex officio member for the link to Oceanids, and is also the alternate emeriti liaison to the RA and the Emeriti Association. Nancy has been serving for many, many years as a mentor in the Emeriti Mentor Program and as coordinator of the UCSD Phi Beta Kappa program. So Nancy just keeps giving and giving to UCSD. We thank her so much for her service to UCSD Retirement Association and to the UCSD larger community. Welcome, Nancy.
Can you see me yet? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to see if I get the picture at the right dimension. I think that looks like.
We can see you just fine. You bet.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get the arm from that holds the computer in the right position from Donna yesterday. So, okay, so I'm going to start out by saying for hors d'oeuvres or for appetizers during this time of COVID, I didn't feel very comfortable about having dips or things everybody's going to put their hands in. So I tried to make everything individual things you just pick up, or you have a toothpick in and pick it up, because I think that's a little safer at this time than making cheese balls and things where everybody's got to cut into it and spread it on your cracker. You got to pick up crackers out of something else. So I think this is just a little more cautious this year because of that. So I've made a couple of different things. So you never want to have just one appetizer either. So I'm going to go through a couple of things sort of quickly that I can give you the recipes for and show you how to make. Some of them, I've made the stuff, some of it the night before so that it's easy. Most of these are like things that I picked are like, okay, we need easy, fast recipes because everybody's in a hurry all the time. I mean, I'm always in a hurry. So, so I'm going to pick these up one at a time and show you. And one of them, I'm just coming out of the oven right now. So what do we do that one first? And then I can show you how to put the next one in the oven, and it can actually cook while we're talking because it only takes 15 minutes. So these went in this morning and they only take 15 minutes also. So these are called spinach balls. They're made with spinach and Parmesan cheese, and it has an egg to hold them together, and they should be done right about now. So let me take them out of the oven. So here they are. Let's see if I can make this tilt the right direction without burning myself. So there they are. They are spinach balls. So, okay, they're healthy. I usually use a silicone liner. Just, you can use parchment paper. You can use an old brown paper bag. It doesn't matter. It just keeps things from sticking. I don't know. I just find it much easier to do. And if something boils over or something like they might in these other things I'm making, then you can see. So these are just little individual spinach balls, and I'm going to put them, if I can, onto a plate. So as you can see what I'm doing here, maybe. Okay. And they, I think they actually will just roll off pretty well. Okay, they stick together well because, so they also have stuffing mix in it. So I don't know how you want to do this, Suzanne, but I typed up the recipes for all of these. So we can post the recipes if you want.
We'll send them out when we send out the video to, the video recording of this, and we'll send it out to everybody who RSVP'd.
Okay, so these have these have spinach and stuffing mix, the dry stuffing mix, and eggs and Parmesan cheese, and they really are delicious. And it gives somebody something to eat besides just sweet things. You want, these are all, most of my appetizers are not sweet. I'm going to put a little parsley around it to make it look.
And they stick together pretty well. They stay stuck together.
Yes. So this recipe calls for 3 eggs, and the eggs are what makes it really hold together. And they're well cooked. You only put them in the oven for 15 minutes, and that cooks them really good through. I don't know. I left mine a little longer because they still looked soft, but 15 or 20 minutes should do it most of the time. So.
Do they taste kind of eggy?
No, they don't taste like egg at all.
Okay.
It's like glue that sticks them together.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
No, they don't taste like, it tastes like, see, it has onion. Let me give you what's in it. Besides stuffing mix, and I used Pepperidge Farm seasoned stuffing mix, and it has, I also put in thyme, and it has onion, chopped up onion, and garlic salt, and what else? It has stuffing mix and 3 eggs. And you make these, you make the spinach stuff by cooking the spinach and draining it. I drained it in a strainer over the sink, and then I put so I squeezed all the water out really well, and then I mixed up the egg and the spices and chopped up onion, and you make the balls with your hands and you put them in the refrigerator. So you can do this all the day before. You can do them, a day or 2 before, as long as you keep them cold before they're cooked. Then when you get ready to serve them, you just pop them in the oven for 15 minutes at 350, and they're cooked. And they look pretty good. They taste great. Okay.
Nancy, do you have an air fryer? Do you know if they can be done in an air fryer?
I don't know. I don't have one of those. I do use an Instapot a lot, but I don't have an air fryer.
Okay.
I very seldom eat fried foods.
Well, actually, that's the point of an air fryer, is it's not really fried. It's just
yeah.
No,
okay. And there may be one under the Christmas tree, so don't say too much.
There's one under my Christmas tree. That's why I wondered.
Well, so also, I don't know if anybody else has a recommendation on it, but there is an air fryer top that you can put on the Instapot, which just means to me you have less junk sitting around the kitchen. I mean, you could have a utensil for everything. It would just clutter your kitchen completely. So anyway, I'm going to show you the next one, which is super easy, but I'm going to do it now because we need to put it in the oven for 15 minutes. So I'm using and these can be used to fill with anything, but I'm using a mini mini muffin pan. I can't say it right, but a mini muffin pan. You can use a big muffin pan also, but I just feel like when you see what these are, they're very crumbly, and so I think you ought to pop the whole thing in your mouth at once, and that's a little big to do with a big muffin pan. So I've made them this way for a while, and I really like this way. So mine is Teflon lined, but I still spray it with some Pam before I start, because it just ensures that I actually think it makes the things crispy. So now you're going to get to see what I'm going to put in here. I left them in the refrigerator because things kept in the refrigerator that you want to be crispy, don't take them out before you're ready to pop them in the oven, because that makes them crispier if the cold hits the hot. So let me get those out of the refrigerator. And what I am using is wonton skins. So these are wonton skins. No, I didn't make my own wonton skins, and I don't think you want to bother. I'm sure used to making these a lot. But you can buy them in the grocery store easily. I usually buy them at the Chinese market, but yesterday I bought them at Ralph's because I was kind of didn't want to go all over town. So you take these one-time skins, and if I can get the package open here, they come with little pieces of paper between each one so that they don't stick together. So, well, actually, these don't fit this one. Okay, so you take the two one-time pieces, take two, and put them where the corner goes across the flat side. Can you see what I'm doing? Let's see.
So those are the square wontons, right?
Yeah, these are square wontons. Wontons usually are, but anyway, can you see that? There's so
Yes.
you don't want to line the corners up. You use two for each one. You don't want to line the corners up. You want a corner across a flat side. Okay, does that look right? And then you just push it into the pan. You don't want to make a hole in it anyway. So, and you're going to have to, with the mini muffin pans, yes, you do have to sort of double it around. And I do it so that I can do, you can do them pretty fast, actually. They don't take too long. It's getting them apart sometimes. Some of them have paper between, these don't. And you just lay them across just like that. So it's corner against a flat side. And you push it into the, you can see now, and then you push that down into the muffin tin. You don't want your fingernail to go through, but then that's not a problem. I don't have any fingernails. Okay, you use the flat side of your finger when you do it. Okay, so you just push them down in like that, and they go pretty fast. I'm going to do just a couple more. I have some that I cooked last night, so you can see the finished product too. But I think it's kind of interesting to see how you make them. So the stuff that I made to go for stuffing inside, you can stuff them with lots of different things. And that's another reason I think these are wonderful things to use. They're very crispy, they're very light. You're not eating a big piece of bread or something. It's just like a little light, crunchy appetizer. And I made a Thai peanut salad to go in it. Now, let's see if I can get enough of these in here to bake a couple quickly. So I'll put these in and they'll take 15 minutes to cook. And then we'll put the inside stuff in while I do something else. So, all right. I mean, you're not having to make anything, you know, really cautiously getting all the edges done and everything. You're just slapping them together and making sure that you make sort of almost like a flower out of it, because you're putting the corner against a flat side and then pushing against it. I'm not quite close enough, am I, to the, there you go. Now you can see a little better what I'm doing. So let's see, one or two more since I've already got them out of the pack. It's harder to get them back in the package than it's worth. Okay, so now another variation of this, I'm going to show you the inside stuff that I'm making for it, is I'm using a Thai peanut salad in them, which can be, you can make that all ahead of time too, and just pop these in the oven and see how fast I made a bunch of these. I think that's enough for right now. And I'm going to put these in. There they are. I just made them that fast while you're watching. I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes.
Oh, so you're cooking them without anything in it? I thought you were going to like fill it with something and then put it in.
Nope.
So pre-bake, okay.
Yep. You bake these first, and here's what they look like. The ones I made last night. Okay. They're just really crunchy. They're light, very light. You can hear me dump them on there. They're light and crunchy. You can, I tried making some with single sheets, which you can also do instead of putting the double. But the double sort of ensures that whatever you're putting in it isn't going to all leak out. So they're just, so I'm putting a Thai crunchy peanut salad in them, which is cold. And you don't want to put the filling in until you're ready to serve them, because you don't want them to get soggy on the bottom. So I have the other stuff all made in the refrigerator, then I just stick it in and put it on the table. You can also make them as a variation using to put a Mexican mix in it, we'll use some Mexican cheese and I don't know, a little hot sauce mixed in. You like that, Suzanne? And and some cilantro, and put them in, and you can make sort of a Mexican thing with it. So they really are just what I really like is they're light enough. You're not eating a big thing before dinner or something.
Nancy, I've got a question for you. So if you talked about, like at a dinner party, putting them out for advertisers,
Yeah.
but if you're putting them or serving them in like a mixer sort of event, how long does that bottom hold before they kind of start to get soggy or leak?
Oh yeah, it's not. It's just that the bottom would be softer. It wouldn't leak. It just gets soft. That's all. But they're fine to do. I'd put them out and have them ready to go. I mean, same thing happens with any kind of wrapper. Like if you made egg rolls or something, what the stuff that's in it could make them soft after a while, but it'd take quite a while.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so while that's cooking, or I've got my timer on for 15 minutes, which will be about right. Then we're going to do another thing that's really sort of fast and easy, but I've already done it, but I just have to tell you how I did it. You put this back in the refrigerator. Okay. So these are, let's see if I can show these. These are pastry brie bites. So what I used was puff paste, which you buy in the grocery store in the freezer, and you let it, if you want to thaw it quickly at room temperature, there are usually 2 wrapped sheets in the package. Why they don't sell them separately is kind of crazy. But if I want to use just one, like I used just one last night, I took the other one and wrapped it in saran wrap and put it back in the box in the freezer. Because I didn't want to make a ton of these, although my daughter's already eaten a couple this morning. So he said, "Oh, these are really good for breakfast. I don't need that." So you don't have to roll it or anything much. You just lay, so you lay the pastry sheet out on a lightly floured surface, and it comes folded in thirds. So when you open it out, there's a definite line there and there, making it into 3 pieces. So I just made 1 sheet for last night. And I cut down the third, the lines that are already there. Then I measured a third on each, on one side, and used a straight edge and cut across thirds. So I'm making, 3 cuts, 2 cuts this way and 3 this way. And they pull right up off the floured surface. You don't have to do anything with them. You take that and you squish it down into the mini muffin pan again. I made these in. And you use brie, and I used canned cranberry sauce. I used the whole cranberry sauce. I had to find a box of that because I never used that at Thanksgiving. I always make cranberry relish, which is much better. But I use this because it's easy for everybody to do. So you take each piece of each square that you've gotten from the puff paste, and you push it down into the mini muffin pan, and then you cut a piece of brie and put a piece of brie, just like the size of your thumb, end of your thumb, cut a piece of brie, put it in it, top it with some of the cranberry sauce, and do that for all of them you're putting in the pan.
Is it like a teaspoon of cranberry sauce?
Not that much. You can see, I don't measure it out. I just kind of dollop a little bit in, and you can see that they kind of
they look beautiful
inside. Huh?
I love this idea. They are beautiful.
Okay, so a hint on making these too is I took a wheel of brie, a small wheel of brie that I had from Costco. I cut a quarter of it. I wrapped it in saran wrap and put it in the freezer. If you freeze it for like half hour to an hour, first, it makes it much easier to cut into pieces. So then I cut a piece across like that, and then made little pieces out of each piece. So that when you cut, whoops, can you see me? That when you cut the pieces, you're just putting a little square chunk in the middle, so you've already put the pastry down in the muffin cup. You put the piece of brie in, and then just a little bit of the cranberry sauce. I tried to put one, since I used whole cranberry sauce, I tried to put a whole cranberry and a little bit of juice in each one. Then you pop those in the oven and you cook those for 15 minutes at, let's look at the temperature. I think it's 400. Let me check real quick. Yeah, that's at 400, because you're taking the cold pastry, you're putting it in a hot 400 oven, and you cook them for 15 minutes. When they come
Okay,
out,
one
they're all
comment.
done.
One
Pardon?
comment and one question.
Yeah.
So I really hunted around for the lowest possible sugar content cranberry sauce, and I found that the Trader Joe's brand, which is in a bottle, cranberry sauce is about 25% less sugar than the Ocean Spray standard variety. So for anybody who
Oh.
goes to Trader Joe's, it's really, really good. And then my question for you is, do you fold the puff pastry back over the brie, or
No.
you just leave it open?
Just leave it open. You just put it in the cup, and they're puffed up now, but when I put the sheets in, they're not puffed up. It's like a little flat sheet of pastry. You push that in there, and then you put the brie in, and the other stuff, and then it puffs when it heats. So it's not puffy like that to begin with. That's what the puff paste does.
Got it.
But Suzanne, I'll send the other recipe too. What I like better than this cranberry sauce, I don't know, I don't think it's probably any less sugar, is I make cranberry relish, where you put, it's all raw cranberries, oranges, and sugar. And you put it all in the blender, and that's my family. We always have that for Thanksgiving. We never buy cranberry sauce. When we had some people come with kids before, they used to say, okay, so pass the kids cranberry sauce, which was the jelly stuff that you cut.
Yeah.
I'll look up how much sugar is in the relish and send you the recipe too.
Nancy,
No,
Nancy, could you hold up one of those completed things with the top facing the camera? I couldn't really see what it looks like
yeah, well.
from above.
Oop, can you see? It leaked out a little bit.
Yes, yes, thank you.
That better? Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing is puffy all the way around. It's not just the top. It tastes wonderful. My daughter had 2 for breakfast. She said, oh, brie's good any time of day.
And they really hold together well then, huh?
Oh yeah, you can easily pick these up and put them down. So there again, you were only going to be touching the one you're going to pick up to eat, right? I mean,
And can you serve them either warm or room temperature when they've cooled off?
yeah, you can do them either way. Doesn't matter. They're good either way. I had a cold one this morning and they're good, but they're also, if people come in and you have right before dinner, you want something, you serve them warm. Same thing with the spinach balls. It doesn't really matter whether they're hot or cold. They're good either way. Of course, they're a little better warm, but okay. So let me see what time it is. Make sure this is out of here. Let me get.
These are wonderful. I can't wait to do these.
Okay, so this is a really, really quick one that I'll show you because we're running out of time, I guess, which is, let's see if I can show this.
We go to 11:30. We're not in a rush. You've got tons of time.
Good. Oh, I was kind of looking at my watch going, oh, we're supposed to stop at 11. This is a really easy, fast thing to do. And I know a lot of you have done the meatballs where you put them in barbecue sauce or grape jelly or whatever. This is 100% better to me. So these are the, what is it, Adelaide's or Adela's or whatever, chicken meatballs from Costco. They're frozen. I just put them in a pan, put them in the micro, you dump out as many as you want. You put them in to thaw them out like 50, seconds or something to cook to thaw 4 at a time. And then what I put on here, is roasted garlic onion jam, which my kids used to make fun of me, but I love this stuff on cream cheese and bagels. It's so good. They go, "You eating that for breakfast?" I'm going, "Yeah, garlic and onion jam. It's really good." So if you don't like it for breakfast on bagels like I do, then you can just pour it all on some of these, pop them in the micro. I'm going to put these in the microwave for a minute or so. All we're doing is heating up the jelly, but it's savory enough that you don't notice that you're eating something kind of sweet. And Suzanne, I can look on here and see how much sugar is in it for you. Let me put these in the microwave for a minute, and we can see them all finished.
I have never heard of garlic onion jam. That's amazing.
Oh, I love it. And I used to, you have to look for where to find it. I used to always get it. It's this brand, Stonewall Kitchen. I used to always get it at that cooking store in Pacific Beach, which is now gone, which is sad. And now I have to look for it. And I just happened when I was up in.
I just found it on Amazon. 2 jars, pack of 2 is $21.95.
Oh, that's good then,
ordering it
because
now.
I just bought the last jar I had. I just happened to see it when I was up at Idlewild, and we were in a store that had a lot of cook stuff. And I went, "Oh, look, there's the kind of jam I like." And this brand is better. Trader Joe's makes one too, but I'm sorry, it does not taste the same. It's okay.
Well, the Stonewall has a 4-pack if you want to make gifts of it for $37.
Okay. Well, actually, what I'm making gifts of this year, you might be interested to hear too. We're using honey. We have a beehive out in the back, and about 2 months ago, we harvested the honey. We go to I don't know if people know what that is. It's place and out on the 94 called City Farmers. And it's like a farm supply store in the middle of the city. And they have all kinds of animals there too. And they have plants, they have stuff for gardening, wonderful place for getting all kinds of gardening stuff, or preserves, or making pickles. They have everything. So you go there, and you can rent their honey harvester. It's just a huge, maybe 3 feet tall, big metal cylinder that you put the racks from the hive in, the wooden racks that have the honeycomb on it. You put those in the thing, and you turn it, and it spins out all the honey. And we did what, and then you strain it to make sure you get anything out of it that might be in, like some of the wax sometimes comes off. So you strain it, and then you pour it into jars. And we did, I don't know how many jars of the stuff, because we got 8-inch jars and 6-inch jars. They're like kind of octagonal shaped jars we bought online, and they're really neat looking. So it's homemade honey this year for Christmas.
That sounds lovely. Somebody in the chat added that bacon jam was good, and I just looked up, and Stonewall Kitchen also has bourbon bacon jam on Amazon, 2 jars for $22.
Oh, I have to try one of those too. That sounds great. Bacon.
Yeah, I just ordered both. I'm going to do this. Wonderful
like you're on
order.
Amazon shopping while you're hungry. It looks.
Yeah. Well, it's great because this is great ideas for hors d'oeuvres, and I've got people coming over for the holidays. So great, thank you.
This is so easy to make. See if these others are ready to come out.
How long did you say that you microwave them for?
Well, it says put 4 in for 40 or 50 minutes, 50 seconds. So I put in 8 for like 60 seconds, fine. And then I'm heating it up again with the jelly. So they're already cooked. They're fully cooked. The ones I buy at Costco are fully cooked chicken meatballs, and you just.
But what do you mean then you heat them again with the jelly? How are you doing that part?
Well, I just put it in for a minute. Let me go check it and see what it looks like. Not hot. Okay, that wasn't hot. So. That didn't seem to be hot enough. So I'm going to put it in for 2 more minutes and get it really warm. I think that also gets the flavor through them, you know. And then we'll take those out. These these little wonton cups are about ready to come out too right now. Oh, get
You have a question in the chat, Nancy. Could you elaborate a little more on the choices of filling that you would put in those wonton skins?
Okay, well, I'm going to give you the recipe for it too. So here's the stuff for it. Good time. Here's the stuff that I'm using. So the easy way to do it, you can do all this yourself and chop it all up if you want. I just bought a bag at Trader Joe's of the shredded red cabbage, green cabbage, and carrots. I can show you the bag in a second. So I just bought that there. I'm using Trader Joe's. This is not an ad for Trader Joe's, really. Is it Trader Joe's, or maybe I'm wrong? Maybe that's not Trader Joe's. No, it's not. It's just, it's called Thai peanut salad dressing. And I'm going to shake it up and put it on this salad. And then when these cups come out and get cooled, then so this stuff is really good anyway, I like it. But especially with the cabbage, it's really, and you can put, you can put some chopped up peanuts on it if you want, but I thought that was a little much. What I usually do is sort of top them with some sliced green onion, which, sorry, I didn't do ahead of time today, and a little bit of chopped up peanuts to top it with, so people will know that it's got peanuts in it. I don't want to make too much of it. So I'm just mixing the salad dressing up with ready-made slaw. Now I did take, when I took the cabbage out of the bag last night, I put it on a chopping board and chopped it a little smaller, because these are going to go into these mini cups, and sometimes there are big chunks of cabbage in there. But then I took a minute to like chop it up. So now it's all made. It actually tastes wonderful with this stuff on it. If you've never tried, you can get peanut sauce or peanut dressing, either way. I know peanut sauce, I think I saw at Ralph's. You can use that too. I will also give you the recipe. I have a recipe for making peanut sauce, and it's made with peanut butter, and which sounds funny, but it's good, and rice vinegar, and I'll send you the recipe with that too. Hang on a minute. Let me check these. Whoop, they look done to me. I don't know why that timer didn't go on. They look done. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. I don't know if you can see these hot out of the oven. The little wonton cups we made, and these are so good. I mean, I think they're just good to eat plain because they're crunchy. but you don't have to fry them. Like a lot of wonton recipes, you fry. Well, that's a big mess, and you're not going to do all that before you have company. So I'm going to let these cool on a cooling rack, which I have somewhere here, and then when they get really cool, then we'll fill them a little bit, okay? So you can just take them out with your fingers and let them cool.
What's the brand of your
What?
What's the brand of your Thai salad dressing?
Oh, you know, I was looking to see, but I thought it was Trader Joe's, but then I see on the front it says JES. Here, I'll put it up. Can you see that now? JES Thai peanut dressing. And I'll
Thank
send
you.
the recipe, because you could also, if you want to make your own salad dressing recipe, you can make it and make it, you know, make it a day ahead of time, or 2 or 3, and just keep it in the refrigerator. I like Thai peanut dressing on other things. So I'm gonna let these cool before we fill them though, because I think otherwise you're gonna have kind of a mess. All right. And let's see if these meatballs are done yet. Just if they're hot. Right. Oh yeah, nice and hot. Now, of course, you want to put them into something that looks a little better to serve them with, and it keeps the jelly all over them for a while they're. And you have something that keeps them warm. I know Suzanne, like, get parties at the when we used to have parties in person at the RA, you had a little mini heater thing to keep the meatballs warm in. I just don't have one of those. So, there we go. So that's what they look like, and they taste delicious. But I will also try the bourbon bacon jam now too. I just think this tastes so much better than just plain barbecue sauce. It's really good.
When we get around to entertaining again, they're going to be done that way as the RRC.
I bet you're going to pick bourbon, and I bet you're going to pick the bourbon bacon sauce. Well, you can do both kinds. It's very easy. So they're done. Those are done. These can, I don't think that's too hot to sit on the table. These can sit on the table, and
You have presented so many options. I mean, this is appetizers for 2 different events I'm going to do. This is wonderful.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. Like, okay, so everybody's not going to like the same thing, and I could spend the whole time just making one, but you know, if you're going to have a party, you're going to put out more than one thing. So you want some fast, easy to make ahead of time things. And I did the shortcuts. I bought the bag of cabbage that's already chopped up, and I just chopped it a little bit smaller. So I'll show you what I bought, because I have another bag in. Well, I still have the same bag in here, because I didn't make all of it. But I'll eat this for lunch too. I really like this as a crunchy salad. So that's what I bought at Trader Joe's. So it comes already, and the red cabbage looks really good. Shredded green and red cabbage with carrots in it. And I just put it on a chopping board and chopped it a little smaller. That was the only thing I really did to it, was make it smaller. And maybe things get a little cooler. So I did see.
Does it come with like sesame seeds or anything like that, or do you add that to it?
No, you can add whatever you want, and you can top them with sesame seeds. I usually top this one when I make it with chopped up peanuts and maybe a little chopped green onion, like little tiny pieces of green onion, because I think the green onion kind of goes
Perfect.
Really
Yeah, nice.
we could make some of that, but I think it'd take me a few minutes more to get that out and wash it and do it. Sorry, I didn't do that ahead of time. So that's all that was used in that. So you can see that what I've used is all stuff that's very easy to do. I'll show you what I used for the meatballs.
Right up my alley, Nancy. I love it. Things that are easy to make.
So here is the meatball thing that I used. I keep one in the freezer all the time because we use it for all kinds of things. And sometimes you just want something easy and fast for lunch. These are great with even just with barbecue sauce, and you just heat them up. But it takes 40 to 50 seconds in the microwave because they're already cooked. They're chicken meatballs, they're already cooked. There's not a lot of fat in them. These are teriyaki pineapple flavor, but I don't know what other, they come in other flavors. These are the ones I always see there though. Okay. And they're all, what do they say? Pork free, they're organic, all natural chicken raised with no antibiotics. Okay, so they're kind of healthy, I guess. And chicken's always a lower fat feed too. So 4 meatballs contains 150 calories. That's not bad for 4.
No, that's wonderful. Yeah.
So they're kind of low fat too.
Yeah, Vaughn's has a turkey meatball that's really similar in terms of caloric content, nutrition, really good. All of those frozen meatballs, they're a go-to thing for me.
Right, and they're already, sometimes I put them in, I make soup a lot of times for myself when I'm home for dinner by myself, and I put that and I keep a bag of those and a bag of the mini, what are they called? They're mini wontons or mini cilantro chicken wontons, and they're just tiny. And I put those in soup with noodles. It's wonderful. So
Terrific.
now I'm going to, if I can get this to go the right way, fill these little things and put them on a plate. So we'll put some in here. Okay. No, you can't see that. Now I have to get the. Okay. So they're just sitting on the cool. They're all cool. It took, just a couple of minutes to cool. They don't take long. So you fill these little cups with this salad, and they're really, not only is the outside crunchy, the salad's crunchy. So it's kind of and you can eat this in one bite. So that's why I like the minis better than the others. If you had to bite into this and you made it in a big muffin tin, you're going to have goop all over the front of you. Okay. All right. So this is what they look like all filled.
They're so cute.
And you can just,
Wonderful.
you're only going to touch the one you're going to pick up. So you're not touching anything anybody else is touching. That really, and I usually put a little bit of chopped peanuts on top. You can put whatever you want on it, and a little bit of green sliced onion on top, just a little bit, not a lot.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
So I'm going to put these on the platter. Well, maybe I should go. I had a bunch already made too, so I didn't fill them yet, but here we go. All right. I guess I should put a couple more in there. They kind of tip over a little bit sometimes, but that's okay. And I'll fill a couple more and put them on the plate, make it look better.
For your chicken meatballs, do you serve those on skewers or toothpicks or forks or what?
What I would do is have skewers to put right next to it. So I just had some little bamboo skewers, and I put them in a, you can use, I would really use 2 things. One to, well, maybe I can use some glass that hold stuff in. Yeah. Okay, so what I would do is put one glass or something with the skewers in it, because then you just pick up the top of the skewer, right? Like that. And then I would put a little laying right next to it to put your dirty skewer in when you're finished to throw it away. That's one thing that bugs me when people serve olives and they have pits in them. There's no place to put the pit. Okay, so you can put a little extra dish for the waste, and it'll be obvious after one person that there's one for picking up and one for waste. So, put this out of the way. Right. So now I will show you, if I move here, what, oops, sorry, a little dance here. So here's what our stuff on the table looks like. Maybe if I can get it to go right. Okay, Suzanne, this isn't working too well to show things. Okay, so here are the meatballs, and I'd put those with maybe, the spinach balls, I'd maybe put And the meatballs, maybe put a couple of skewers so people can see what they're supposed to do. All right. You don't want people picking things up with their hands. Okay. Now, I don't know. You tell me if you can see all of those or not. No, no, no.
Yep. Sounds wonderful. Wonderful.
Can you see those, Suzanne? All I can see is you. So. All right.
Yes,
So,
we can see it all. Yeah, they look wonderful.
yeah. So we've made like 4 things very quickly that don't take any time. You can have it all made ahead. I didn't do a lot of fancy making stuff. I did mostly like things that you could buy half of it done, but not, you're not serving ready-made hors d'oeuvres, which I don't want to do. But
And they look much better than ready-made stuff. They look delightful. I guarantee you I'm going to do all of these over the holidays.
well, I mean, they're very easy to make. So I can do them like one at a time. You might be able to see better. So these are the spinach balls. And you could just put a little parsley on a plate. That makes them look a little better. But they actually taste great. I mean, maybe if you don't like spinach, you won't like it, but I love spinach, and the onion and spinach and garlic all taste great. I mean, it's not a sweet appetizer at all. And then there are the little pastry cups or the little wonton cups. Now, you can also fill these with Mexican stuff too, like Mexican cheeses and cilantro, a little lime juice, mix it up, or make a little salad with that and put some lime juice in it and some cheese and put them in there. Now, they would look a little better if I had chopped the green onion and put it on there, but I sort of forgot. Okay, and then you have the brie puffs, which are simple to make. Just remember to take a chunk of brie, not your whole thing, whatever you think you're going to use. But take a chunk of brie and put it in the freezer. It makes it so much easier to cut because brie is really gooey in the middle. So if you have it frozen, you could cut the pieces and little things, just little chunks, and put them in there. Those are yummy. And then we have the meatballs in garlic onion jam, which are pretty
Oh
good.
my God. Absolute wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that's you have any questions? I'd be glad to.
Yay! Nancy, those are all really terrific and I can't wait to try them. Are there any questions or comments from our attendees, members? Go ahead and unmute yourself, speak up.
I have one question, Nancy. When you were spraying the mini muffin tins, was that just the oil-based spray or was that the kind that has the flour mixed in it for baking?
No. It's just cooking, nonstick oil. It's,
Thank you.
Canola oil. Now, I don't, mine is nonstick pan, so I haven't tried making them without this oil, but I kind of think spraying them with the oil may make them a little crispier too. Then if I should try some in my nonstick pan without the oil and see if they, see if it comes out exactly the same. But I just love these little wonton cups. Now, I remember years ago, I don't know if you still could, but you used to be able to buy these little hors d'oeuvre cups that were like very thin little pastry cups at IKEA in the food part. They came in a little box and you were supposed to be able to squirt, I don't know, pate or something into it, whatever. And I did have some of those at one time, but I actually like the wonton cups better because they taste like something. They're crunchy. It's like eating a chip or something. So, it's actually something. Something. Got my hair cut yesterday. I keep doing the wrong direction with it.
Hey, Nancy, can you show us the package on that puff pastry? I have never worked with puff pastry at all. And so I'm a little nervous about that, but you made it seem really easy.
It is very easy.
What you presented, I think I could do. I do not consider myself a baker. I'm a good cook, but not a baker.
Okay, here it is. So actually, I got this one at Ralph's. but it is in the frozen compartment. So in fact, I had to ask there was another student near me down the wall, and I had to say, can you come up here and reach this for me? I was like as far as I could reach, and I stood on the edge of the thing. I still couldn't pull the package out.
How many are in there? Or
Okay, there are two. Now, there are 2 sheets. Now this one's still frozen, so I can't unfold it to show you. But because it comes in this one white package, the 2 sheets slide in. I took out one and thawed it about, I'd say no more than about 35 minutes or so if you're going to do it out on the counter. And then because it would get too gooey if you thaw it too long. And I actually just rolled it a teeny bit, but you don't have to do that. You just cut it. And so you can see the size is this way. So when you open this out, there's a third here and a third here. So there are these lines right down there, and you just cut along the 2 lines. And then you go along this side when it's all flat, and you go, a third and a third, and cut all the way across, all.
And it really puffs up. I mean, because that doesn't look that voluminous, but that made all of that quantity that you showed us. That
one of these packages made a whole bunch of those. We ate some already. So, but and now I also tried cutting them in quarters, but it makes them a little small, so that sometimes the brie leaks out more. So I think.
Are you ending up with like 3-inch squares or?
Yeah, you're going. Yeah. So
I'm thinking other brands might be folded a different way or have a different size sheet. So that's why I'm wondering if.
I don't know that I've ever seen any other
brand.
Well,
how wide is that?
It's how many inches wide is it?
Yes.
I see that happen.
Looks like a foot.
Oh, I always have a tape measure of some sort in here. This looks like it's 3.5 inches wide.
Okay.
Maybe
so you're ending up with squares about that size.
Yeah. So yes, because they're going to be about that size because you're cutting down when you lay this out flat, you can see the distinct line here and the distinct line here. So you have a piece like this with 2 lines, and then you've got a third, and a third. And then you cut down those 2 lines, and then on the side, you go down a third, and a third. It just cut all the way across. So,
can you talk about storage on any of these? If you were to make them a day ahead and say you had an airtight container, you can put them in, would you put the brie cranberry ones in the fridge or leave them out?
After they're cooked, no. You could, I guess you could make them. I don't think you could make them ahead and keep them in the refrigerator. You have that much room. But you wouldn't want to cook them to the last minute.
Okay.
The cold hitting the hot that makes them puff.
Okay.
But you can definitely have a piece of brie kind of semi-frozen ahead of time, and you can cut up your pieces and put them back in the fridge if you want, or you can, between wax paper so they don't stick or something, or you can just lay it out and cut them right then and there and stick them in the pan.
But if they're all done, and you eat a few one day, the remaining quantity of them, would you be able to put those in the fridge for tomorrow, or?
I wouldn't put them in the fridge. I'd just leave them out. They're fine.
Oh, okay.
Cheese is good out. I mean, it's not going to kill you to eat cheese has been out on the counter.
Okay.
And because if you put any kind of pastry in the refrigerator after it's cooked, it's just going to absorb moisture.
Okay. All right. Super.
Crunchy, so you don't want to do that. I just leave them out. It's fine, leave them out. The spinach balls, you can make the goop. In fact, I have another whole thing of it in here to make later, but because I don't like to throw away food. So this is what it looks like when it's all made. Push it into the pan, but you just use your hands and make a little ball. Put them
So
on
you
there.
can definitely make that ahead and then just
Oh.
make some little balls. Yeah, that's wonderful.
This is all made. I can make that. I can leave this in your fridge a couple of days. It won't hurt at all.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
Thai peanut salad, I would say, just don't put your salad dressing on it until you're all through. But you can chop everything up, add some nuts if you want, whatever you want in there. Chop it all up and leave it in the fridge in a sealed in a container, and then you can just fill the cups after they come out of the after you already cook them. Now I made some of the wonton cups. Like I have some here. I made the night before, and they're fine. Just leave them on the counter. So you can have the empty cups all made ahead of time.
Super.
Just have them out there, leave them. Then when you get ready to serve it, you saw how fast it did, like just plunking it in. So it doesn't take any work to put them in.
Nancy, this was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I love it. I love all 4 of them. I can't wait to do them. I wish you the happiest of holidays. We love the lights that you've got up around your kitchen. That's very festive.
Oh, you know what? Those are chili peppers. They're up year round.
Oh my goodness.
I like red.
How fun.
No,
Really fun.
I never
Anyway, this is
wear red. I
delightful.
love it. Huh?
Please do send me the recipes and we'll
Yeah.
send it out with the video recording to everybody who was with us. Happy holidays, everyone. And please don't forget to sign up for the holiday party.